Denver led at one point 15-0. Whether Rich Gannon hurt on the last series, whether he comes back in the next time they have the ball remains to be seen.
Oh, he's got to come back in. That's why John Gruden went and got him. Because he knows he's going to play hurt, and he's got to play in games like this.
1st and 10.
Little bruised rib, forget that.
Forget that, right? At least he has his helmet on anyway. And here is Gary, and Gary makes the acquaintance of, along the defensive front, one Russell Maryland. Raiders began this comeback at the end of the first half, 15-7. Then in the third quarter on the opening kickoff, Watson goes down. Jordan forced the fumble, and then Gannon makes it pay off with his touchdown pass to Ricky Dudley, followed by the 2-point conversion to James Jett. And then when Oakland moves down deep into Denver territory again, it's a field goal here by Husted, who'd earlier missed an opportunity to give them the lead, and Oakland with 18 unanswered points. 2nd down, 13 now at the 31-yard line with McCaffrey in motion. And a little backside screen that Gary couldn't handle. Russell Maryland was right there anyway. Would have knocked him down for a loss.
Out right now, Willie Shaw is doing an excellent job of keeping the Raider defense in the face of the Denver offense. You can see right here when they run the screen, the perfect defense is called. The guys are reading it out, and it seems like that they know the plays prior to the snap the last couple downs here. This Raider defense has really played a heck of a football game. It's kept them in it throughout the first half and has given them some pretty good field position here in the second half.
3rd and 13. Miller operates from the gun, and the pass is errant and thrown behind and low to Rod Smith. So after Gary picks up a couple of first downs with nice running, out they go, and they're forced to punt again.
Sometimes when you have a really smart quarterback, it works against you. In that particular play, Chris Miller saw the blitz coming. He knew that nobody was there to pick up the blitz, so he kind of rushed his throw a little bit. At least he didn't take a sack and fumble.
Tom Ruin to punt from the 31-yard line. Darian Gordon back to receive it. Gordon will finally get to run one back. Escapes a would-be tackle, but then gets knocked down at the 18. That's great coverage as Detron Smith, who blocked the kick before, got down there. There's a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. Ineligible man downfield.
So we'll take him back and do it over.
Denver. Again, Carl Williams is the all-time leader in punt return average, and Gordon is second. I wonder if Carl even knew that. If Carl is listening,
he knows it now.
Yes, he does. Carl's calling his agent right now. Here's Ruin's kick.
Definitely returnable now.
Yep. Gordon from the 25-yard line.
Oh!
And with no flags, he brings it back to the 39, where he's crunched by Darius Johnson. 13-11 remaining in the fourth. Gannon's going to come back in with Oakland up by 3. After the game, ESPN has a Monday Night Football post-game show with live reports and analysis. This has been a good one to this point. First down, Oakland from the 38-yard line. They lead by 3. Gannon with a play fake. He's going to throw, and it is caught. Brown makes the catch, and Carter runs him out, but not until Timmy's picked up the first down.
Dale Carter got caught looking into the backfield with a nice play fake to Kaufman from Gannon. And they gave Tim Brown just enough to get across, and Gannon floated him the ball. So defensive backs are looking in the backfield, not what you're supposed to be doing when you're out there. Keep your eyes on your guy.
First down from the 49. Look at Romanowski. And going nowhere is Kaufman. Stopped by Coghill. Broncos will play one more season in this stadium, and then in the year 2001 they will move next door. And there is Pat Bolin. He was able to help shepherd through the plan to build the new Mile High Stadium, which is under construction in what was now the parking lot. There it is in the daytime, right next door to Mile High Stadium, the brand new 76,000-seat facility to open in 2001. Second and 11 as Gannon retreats under pressure, escaping, and then finally flings it away. Nobody home, pressured by the defense. Third down. Monte Rieger leading the charge.
Al, the reason you heard me moan like that is Monte Rieger just absolutely ran over Tyrone Wheatley. Now, I don't know about the blocking scheme here where you have a halfback trying to pick up a defensive end, but I am telling you, Monte Rieger just absolutely flattened Tyrone Wheatley. Take a look at this. Here he is. Bang. See you. Get out of the way. I'm coming through. Oh, man. You know, I never liked offensive line coaches that said, you know, these guys can handle those guys. They can't handle those guys.
Third down and 11 now as Gannon is under pressure again. Had by the shirt. He escapes again, and he turns what would have been a sack at least into an incompletion to save some yardage. Trevor Price almost had what would have been his 8th sack of the season.
That time a mix-up on the offensive line between Barry Sims, the right guard, and Lincoln Kennedy, the right tackle. And you can't allow guys to come scot-free. That's twice now that Rich Gannon's had to get rid of the football and not take sacks. And you can see right there, Barry Sims allowing number 93 to come flying through there, Trevor Price, and Gannon having the presence of mind to throw the football away and not take the sack.
Leo Aragus to punt. That's a terrible kick. Off the side of his foot, a flag goes down. Now 2 flags come down. There's an altercation here between 2 Broncos and 1 Raider, with Billy Miller involved and Charles Mincy involved as well. Meanwhile, the kick goes out of bounds near the 35-yard line.
You think Wade Wilson could punt?
Oh, boy. Well, I know one thing. The call will go against Oakland. I don't know if Wilson, they're going to decline this penalty, of course. I don't know if Wilson can punt, but I do know who can place kick if it came down to it.
All right. Go ahead, give it to me.
Well, you know where I'm going.
During the kick, on number 22 of the kicking team.
Mincy.
That's a 10-yard penalty from where the kick ended. First down.
That's Mincy. Well, we'll go to where we were going.
Tough night for a punter, Al.
That pose
tells it all, doesn't it?
Says it in spades. The penalty was declined. The block, by the way, the block of his earlier kick was the first of his career. Now, after that bad boot, first down Denver from the 34-yard line, and that is off the fingertips of Griffith. So Miller, who started hot, right now, when you look at his numbers, he's completing just a little bit more than 40%. He's 11 out of 26.
And his last few attempts have not even been close. And you know, these are the types of things as a quarterback that you go through in the game, Al, that you're not always going to be sharp, but sooner or later, you're going to have to start completing the easy ones. And he's missed a few here the last few throws, but we saw Rich Gannon do that early in the game, but fight through it and come back and make some nice throws.
Right. Second and 10, ball at the 35-yard line. Oh, and it's a fumble. And Miller lost the football, and Olandis Gary winds up saving the bacon, at least for the moment. I guess when you cover up the pigskin, you truly are saving the bacon.
You sure are saving the bacon right here. You're saving a few other things, too.
Ball at the 29-yard line. It'll be third down. And 16.
Take a look at what happened here. Look, Chris Miller had the ball. Tom Nalen delivered it perfectly. It seems like he is out of sync right now, Chris Miller is. And trying to find a play that he's comfortable with that maybe he can complete.
From the shotgun against a 3-man rush. Underneath, it is caught by Chamberlain. And Byron takes it out to the 40-yard line, well short of the first down. And another Denver 3-and-out.
So, in essence, the Aragus shank doesn't really hurt you in terms of giving up points. But where it does hurt you is right here. If you don't get a punt return, it's in field position.
Right.
You see Gary Kubiak right there. He is the, I guess, the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, and certainly is frustrated by the play of his offense the last few series.
I have turned down the head coaching job at the University of Colorado. And now Ruin's kick is an ugly duck. but it takes a very nice Denver bounce. Gordon fields at the 15, and a flag is thrown as Gordon is taken down at the 18-yard line.
And I think you're going to have a push in the back, maybe, by number 34, Jermaine Williams of the Raiders. There it is.
And that is the call, and there is the culprit. It's going to march him back
Illegal
inside
block
the 10.
in the back during the return, number 34. Half the distance to the goal. First down, Oakland.
Put the ball back at about the 8-yard line. 10:04 left in the fourth. The Raiders with 18 unanswered points, leading by 3. Taking snaps from Neyland, indicating that Bryan's going to come in the next time Denver has the ball. Oakland has it here at the 8-yard line. The crowd is in full throat right now, and Wheatley runs right through Braxton, who makes the tackle at the 14-yard line.
After that last series out, Chris Miller came off the field kind of shaking his head, like as to say, you know, I'm not seeing things, or I'm a little dazed. I'm not really sure. But look at this. This is how he left the field. Now he's taking some shots back there. There's no question about that. I don't want to guess what that means. I don't want to speculate on anything.
But Greasy's warming up. Wheatley now. Wheatley moves the pile up to the 18 and close to a first, tackled by Trevor Price.
When you look back at the last few series, he was not sharp, Chris Miller. A couple of the balls were sailing on him. His accuracy was off, but he also took some pretty good shots after he had released the football. But meanwhile, the Raiders have moved the ball now out of the shadow of their own end zone by running 2 plays and moving the ball effectively all of a sudden on the ground.
Greasy has what would be described as a tear in the tissue of his shoulder joint. Says he has very little pain, but they had hoped to keep him on the bench tonight through the bye week next week. Kaufman goes nowhere. That is Ma'atanovasa who is there for the tackle. 8:40 to go. Here's a reminder tonight on Nightline. What happens when a fatal traffic accident of a young African-American woman exposes a city's racial fault line? A multi-million-dollar settlement. The whole story is tonight on Nightline following your late local news. Tim Brown out of the game for the moment, and he looks like he took a shot. James Jett, Rodney Williams are the wideouts. That's Williams in motion at 2nd and 11, and Gannon throws. It's caught by Ritchie, and he gets taken down at the 24-yard line by Ray Crockett.
Nice tackle by Crockett. Go right at the knees of the fullback coming at you. Don't take him on high, because he'll run you right over, and John Ritchie certainly can do that to you. Another little play-action pass. This is the West Coast offense at its finest. Quick, get rid of it, and get it into the hands of your ball carriers.
3rd down and 5 from the 24. Randy Jordan in the backfield. And the pass is dropped by Brown. Brown came back into the game, and it's interesting because you saw him on the sideline squinting as if he was having trouble either with his eyesight or he'd had his bell rung, and he can't handle this one as he gets hit and covered by Cudrez.
How about Glenn Cudrez? He's all over the place tonight and making big hits. Now you have to wonder about your punter. He's got the ball, and you can see Cudrez knocking the ball loose.
Line of scrimmage 23. Aragoose to punt. Chris Watson back to receive. Floating kick, not a lot of distance. Fielded by Watson at the 42, and the rookie brings it back to the 48, loses the football. Flag comes in at the end of the play.
I think what the flag might be here, Al, is this might have been an illegal fair catch signal by Watson. It looked like he was going up with it and then pulled his hand down quickly and ran with the football.
It was very half-hearted fair catch signal.
Invalid fair catch signal.
Yep.
Number 21 of the receiving team. That's a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
I was watching the game last night on ESPN, and the guys there, Mike, Paul, and Joe, had the same situation where a guy raised his hand and they gave him the fair catch, and it was like just like this here.
Yep. Only cost them 5. At least they still have the ball at the 39. Years the #1 quarterback on opening night against Miami, but he's had that shoulder problem, may require surgery at the end of the season. Here he comes at the 39-yard line to begin this drive, and he starts on the ground by giving it to Gary, who can barely get out of the backfield. Leslie, what do you know?
Al, Chris Miller is not injured. It was a coach's decision. It was more a product of not being able to move the ball and being 2 for 8 in the second half, Al.
I was going to say the same thing. It looked like he had been out of it a little bit. He wasn't real sharp. He fumbled the snap. And Mike Shanahan, sensing that his quarterback did not seem like he was into the game for whatever reason, went to his young future right here, Brian Griese.
Griese leads the league in fumbles. 2nd and 9, and that's a pass that gets deflected and is incomplete. Griese has fumbled 12 times this season, despite missing a considerable amount of action.
And I asked Mike Shanahan about the fumbling. He said, you know what? A lot of those things come from backside hits. And my own take on that is that this is a young quarterback. He's going to hold on to the ball a little bit longer, and he's going to get himself into some situations that are going to force fumbles. So he has to be quicker in his decision-making, get rid of the ball.
3rd down and 9 from the 40-yard line. Griese throws, caught, big first down into Raider territory to Rod Smith. And the crowd of this big old erector set comes alive again. First down, Denver at the Oakland 47.
There's so many things that Brian Griese has done well, Al, that you could see where he is going to be someday and should be a big-time quarterback. And look at the accuracy on that ball, low into traffic, knowing where to go with the football and delivering it quickly.
From the 47-yard line, Griese going deep for McCaffrey. McCaffrey draws the flag. The feet got tangled up with McCaffrey and Woodson. McCaffrey and Woodson one-on-one. The call is against the defense, against Oakland. You know,
I don't know about this. This almost
defensive pass interference. Number 24. First down.
You know, I'm looking with the naked eye as I'm watching this score. I think it's an Academy Award performance by McCaffrey. Let's take a look at this. This may be an Oscar right here.
You wonder if he's calling the push there, maybe the pull of the jersey, but
oh, hello. That is best. That's not even best supporting actor. That's the whole deal. This is Gary stopped at the line of scrimmage.
How everybody talks in the league, you know, why do you change quarterbacks and all these other things? You could see why. All of a sudden, the Denver Bronco offense is lifted to another level. But take a look at McCaffrey here.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's
oh my.
That's as good an acting job as I've ever seen to draw a penalty. 2nd down and 12, and what a big one it is. It puts Denver at the moment in very makeable field goal range. 2nd down and 12 at the 18-yard line. And Griese goes down to the 21, popped by Johnstone. As the flag comes out, it's possible with the arm contact that he called it on that.
Well, and you wonder why Brian Griese fumbles, but as much as he does is because of plays like that right there, Al. Just get rid of the ball.
Here's the flag. Let's watch again.
Is it right there because of the pull right there, right? There's a push. They're both pushing.
Where's the flag? Well,
I say it was an acting job.
A great one. 3rd and 14. And Griese on a quarterback draw slips, falls, can take it to the 20. So now you've got Elam coming in for what will be a 37-yard field goal attempt with 4.5 to go.
Well, he inserted Brian Griese. He moved him down the field. They got a little luck with the interference penalty, but this is why you change quarterbacks, is to Get guys to respond, to make plays.
Elam has made them from 30 and from 24. They'll spot this one at the 28. 38-yard attempt. Tom Ruin to put it down. Snap good, hold good, and the kick is good.
He's money.
4:04 left in regulation. And our best Monday night game of the season. 18-18. Jason Elam to kick off after tying the game. At one point tonight, Denver led 15-0. The Raiders then scored 18 straight points. Kaufman and Branch are back. Now the game is tied. Kaufman backs up Fields at the 5 and brings it back to the 24-yard line. 3:56 remaining in the fourth. A reminder again, Enhanced TV online right now. Stats, interactive games, trivia, ESPN.com and NFL.com. The places to log on.
Well, Al, this is why you have Rich Gannon as your quarterback. 4 minutes to go on the road. Tie game. Playoffs on the line. A game that you need to win. This is where you earn your keep when you're a quarterback in the NFL. Somehow you have to get your team down in the scoring position, give them a chance to win the football game and go home a happy team.
First down to the 24-yard line. That's Brown in motion to the inside. Gannon throws. It is caught out in the flat. Taken down is Derek Walker by Crockett after a gain of 6. Monday Night Football being brought to you by Miller Lite. Taste a true Pilsner. Norelco, for an unexpectedly close shave, put it to the test. E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online. And who has the look for the holidays? JCPenney. Give the look. 3:25 and ticking down. Second down and 4. Pat Poland taking a close-up look. His defense digging in. Gannon backing up. Faking the screen left. Looking back there again. Escaping and taken down to the 29. Good tackle by Kadrez.
He's having one of his best games ever.
He is. Began with that run back of the fumble.
I believe that's his 3rd sack of the evening.
Number 3. It's the kind of night that gets you to the Pro Bowl. You do that on Monday night.
They're actually setting up a screen on the last play, and the defense of the Denver Broncos read it perfectly.
3rd down and 5.
Now it doesn't get any more tension-filled right now. The stress that you feel as a quarterback is awesome. There's nothing else that even comes close.
Huge play on 3rd and 5, and it's tipped and it's incomplete. It is tipped by Keith Traylor, another guy having a big night. 4th and 5. So 3 and out, and Denver gets it back.
Let's take a look at this. You can see that he's throwing off his back foot and throwing a sideline.
Winds up off the back of Barry Sims, who was blocking Traylor.
Traylor was trying to get the official to throw the flag.
Here is Aragouz now to punt. Watson to receive. Excuse me. From the 15-yard line, Travis McGriff now goes back. To drop the ball and pick it back up and take it to the 33-yard line. So they had Watson running back the kicks until now when they go to McGriff, and wouldn't that have been something?
Well, Watson fumbled, had the inadvertent fair catch, they go, and I'm sure Dennison said enough's enough already. Take a look at McGriff here.
Ooh,
oh,
ooh,
man.
Ooh. And now Denver has the ball at the 34. They have all of their timeouts and the 2-minute warning.
Do we get a shades of John Elway, Al, or
well,
no?
John, I wonder if John is still in the building.
I think he beat the traffic. He went home.
Yep.
He's got the fire going right now.
At the 34-yard line, 1st and 10. We understand John is still here. Greasy hanging in, throws, and it's dropped by Gary. And there is Mr. Elway. Well, Janet will be driving home tonight.
At least you got him with the right product.
We hope. Yes. 2nd and 10 at the 34.
Well, come on, it's after midnight on the East Coast. We're all right.
I hear you. 2:17 remaining. The 36-year-old John Gruden, the youngest coach in the league, aging by the minute.
One of the great things about Mike Shanahan's offense is the way that he uses formations to create matchups here. And take a look at this.
2nd and 10. That's caught by Smith. He can only get to the 40. It's going to be 3rd down and 4. The tackle's made by Anthony Newman, and that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. It's been a beauty in Denver tonight. Still to be determined. 2-minute warning, 18-18. We can find out about his future.
You'll probably have him at halftime, won't you?
Well, if Steve is listening,
put it in right now. Say you want him at halftime, Al. So we don't have to go through the whole rigmarole all week long.
Book it.
All right.
Save us a call. You just say it's...
Steve, do the halftime interview, please.
$1.50. 3rd down and 4 for the Denver Broncos now on a key play. Gary Kubiak after the 2-minute warning. You look at Eric Allen and Greasy on 3rd and 4, ready to get it started.
Yeah, Al, I was telling you on the play previous for the Oakland Raiders that the feeling for a quarterback is awesome in these situations because you have to make the right decision. The game's on the line. And this is why you play the game outside of the money.
3rd down and 4. And it's a bad snap. And Greasy has to pick it up and takes the sack back at the 18-yard line. So outside of a fumble, that's about the worst of all possible worlds. Tony Bryan and Lance Johnstone.
And I think it brings to light the Broncos' problems, the problems that they've had this season. Situations like this where they have a chance to put the game away and they can't do it.
And timeout is not called by Oakland. They had one. They have one remaining. And they're going to get the ball back in what they hope will be pretty good field position.
You know, I wonder if Tom Nalen just absolutely rifled this ball back there.
Snap not that bad, and then Greasy can't even get rid of it here to save what would have been 20 yards. Greasy's 13th fumble of the season.
Well, in slow motion, it looks like it's okay, right?
Yeah. Catchable.
Once again, the picture is brought to you by Kenny Wolf and Craig Janoff. The best pictures in sports, Al.
For years.
Absolutely.
You guys are well rested and well fed. That's why.
And they're nice and warm.
Tom Roon to punt. Darian Gordon back to receive it at the 40. Gordon from the 41.
Now's the time for your return. Here you go.
And down the sidelines he goes, busting tackles. And he is out of bounds. They're going to spot it up at the 36-yard line.
Well, it couldn't have come at a better time for Darian Gordon right now as the game is on the line.
They've been bottling them up until now. It's a 25-yard return of a 40-yard punt. 50 net, ball at the 35. 1st down Oakland with 1 timeout at their disposal and 1:42 on the clock.
I still think that you have to find Ricky Dudley. If I step into the huddle, I'm saying, I got this big tight end. He's been open tonight. I've been able to get the ball to him. He's made some plays for me. He's a guy that should be looking for.
That's Dudley in motion. He's caught 4 balls tonight. They set him up on the right side. Gannon under pressure. He gets sacked. There's a flag down in the secondary all the way down to the 13-yard line, deep downfield. Romanowski indicating to his bench it's going to go against Oakland. Al Wilson and Trevor Price converged on the sack.
I think Ray Crockett also heard me say that let's throw it to Ricky Dudley because I think he held him.
39 defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
That is the call. So Romanowski with wishful thinking as he signaled the bench.
Hey, runner.
Automatic 1st down at the 30.
Let's take a look at this right here. Watch Ricky Dudley, number 83, get up the field. I don't know about this.
Who's holding who?
I don't know. That's a weak call.
Man. First and 10 at the 30. It's Mickens in motion. On the ground. Wheatley to the 26-yard line. So if they gain not another yard, it's a 43 or 44-yard field goal attempt as Houston limbers up.
And you know what I like here is I like Mike Shanahan using his timeouts.
Right. Otherwise, Oakland will just run the clock down and try a game-ending field goal.
We talk each week about how coaches manage games, and you're looking at a guy, Mike Shanahan, who's one of the brighter coaches in all of football and knows how to manage a football game. And right here, he's doing that by using his timeout, figuring that if the Raiders are going to try a field goal, they're going to try to keep them out further, and then if they miss it, or if they make it even, give their team, an offensive team, an opportunity to go down and score, tie it, or even win it.
Houston 72%, which used to be good, but that's the lowest among 23 active players who would qualify in that category. Tonight he's made one from 33 and missed one from 37.
And that miss wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Both he and Araguz have had trouble with the cold tonight, and I was talking to Tom Ruin, the punter for the Broncos, and Jason Elam, asking them about the cold weather and those new balls that they have to kick every week. And this is the first time that they've had this experience to be able to do that, and I think the Raider kickers certainly have had the more difficult time of it tonight.
2nd and 6, and Romanowski looking over at the demonstrative Robinson for the defensive call here. 2nd down 6 at the 26, and a tie game with a minute and a half to play. Wheatley is the tailback. Gannon banged as he throws, and that's incomplete and close to being intercepted. Wilson decks Gannon. 3rd down.
The interesting thing about this, Al, is that they have run this play a few times already tonight. The receiver's not even looking for the ball as he delivers it, and the receiver gets hit in the leg with it. Take a look at this. Here he comes. He's not even looking at the football.
Mickens.
And Gannon's trying to get rid of the ball quickly because he knows that he has pressure coming right at him.
3rd down and 6 now from the 26. Jet in motion. Gannon flips one outside, incomplete. Wheatley couldn't handle it. So now with 1:21 left, Husted comes in for what will be about a 43-yard field goal. The Broncos only had to use one timeout, and so when Denver gets the ball back, the Denver Broncos will still have 2 timeouts at their disposal.
The guy that I keep my eye on here is right in the middle. Neil Smith and Trevor Price, those 2 big guys, pushing right over the center. Getting their big paws up in the air to knock the football down.
44-yard attempt, and Araguz is trying to call timeout, and does. And that's their last.
Well, they're going to give him the timeout back because the play clock was way.
There'll be no charge timeout. We had trouble getting the kicking ball in. Still 4th down.
The kicking ball.
Well, that's the new ball we've been talking about.
Yeah, the Circle K ball.
That's a good job by Larry Nemmers, and he recognized the problem and not taking the timeout.
44-yard attempt to try to give Oakland the lead. Araguz to hold it.
Watch Neil Smith in the middle.
Husted to kick it. And the kick is just good. Just good.
Did you see the snowballs coming out of trying to knock the ball off?
When Ray Wersching was kicking a field goal for the 49ers in a game here in the mid-'80s, somebody threw a snowball that disrupted it.
But they were trying to throw snowballs out of the stands to hit the ball, it looked like.
Right.
Anything.
And through it all, the kick is just good. Check it out.
The reason I was talking about Neil Smith was because the kicker will try to drive the football and sometimes will not get the ball high enough.
Ooh, look at this.
Doesn't matter as long as it's through, right?
Hooking, hooking, hooking. and staying just inside.
Take a look at the snowball. Let's see if we could see some of them coming out of the crowd. There they come. Well, that was a bad throw. That was a bad throw. It must have been a scud, Al.
A what?
It must have been a scud.
Yes.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of Arthur Kent, that's all.
Okay.
Here's the kick from Husted with 117. Fielded at the 13-yard line by Chris Watson. And he brings it back to the 29-yard line. And so Denver from there will try to get into field goal range with 73 seconds left in the fourth quarter and 2 timeouts.
Now, if you're a Raider defense, you don't want to be too passive here. And if you're Brian Greasy, you have plenty of time. You have both of your timeouts. You can still use the middle of the field. Don't be afraid to drop it off, especially if the Raiders in a prevent sort of a defense. You can also drop it off to your back, sneaking out of the backfield and let him run for a few yards. I just can't imagine that Willie Shaw is going to be passive in his defense and sit back and allow Brian Greasy to complete short passes.
Out of the gun, it is caught by McCaffrey as they gamble defensively, and McCaffrey is out of bounds at the 47. Eric Allen went for the ball. The veteran went for the ball, missed, and McCaffrey was able to make the catch and turn it into a big game.
Well, certainly Eric Allen wasn't passive, Al, but when you make a play like this, you better be right, especially at this point in the game. He was lucky that McCaffrey didn't make it down the sideline for a touchdown. Nice throw by Brian Greasy away. And look at the hands of Ed McCaffrey.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line. 66 seconds to play. Greasy going deep, and it's incomplete. Intended for McCaffrey as that matchup with McCaffrey and Allen again down the left sideline occurs.
Well, when you see guys like this playing man-to-man coverage on the outside, that means that the defense is not playing passively. That they're playing the defense that they've been playing all night long. And for that, I applaud Willie Shaw for doing that. Because how many times do we see on Monday night a team just sitting back and allowing another team to march down the field?
Second down and 10 from the 48-yard line. Four-man rush, caught, 39-yard line. Hauled in by Miller, and Denver will take its second timeout. So 1 remaining. The ball at the 39. Remember, Elam last year kicked a 63-yarder. Not that you want to try to end the game from this vantage point. The next play is obviously going to be very critical at the 39. But at the moment, if they don't gain a yard on the third down play, you'd be looking at a 56-yard attempt, should you choose to go for the field goal here.
And watching Jason Elam prior to the game in his warm-ups going this way, he was making 50-yarders nice and easily.
Last year, you'll recall, at the end of the half against Jacksonville, Tom Dempsey held the record of a 63-yard field goal in his days with the New Orleans Saints. And here is Jason Elam against the Jacksonville Jaguars, banging it through.
Looks like he had a good 5 yards more on that as well.
It did. But this is a huge play. Third down, short 2 from the 39, and there's action along the offensive line. Lepsis and Teague, both tackles were moving.
Now, I don't know if Nayland's late with the ball or Brian Greasy's not yelling loud enough and these guys can't hear.
Illegal stamp on the center. Double pump the ball. That's a false start. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Back to the 44.
Watch the ball right here and watch Tom Nayland. He'll move the ball right there.
Sure.
It looked like he wanted to snap it. Brian Greasy wanted it on that count. It's twice now in the shotgun formation that they've had problems.
Now it goes to 3rd and 7. The ball is at the 44-yard line. Greasy throws. It is caught by Smith. He reaches. He doesn't have the first down, and he doesn't even get out of bounds. So with 49 seconds left, it's 4th and 1. Darian Gordon is there. The ball at the 38. Their choice is to go for it on 4th and 1, or have Elam kick a 55-yard or 56-yard field goal, and they will take their final timeout.
Interesting call by the official on the sideline to say that he stayed in bounds. If he doesn't get out of bounds, credit the Oakland defender for keeping him in bounds.
Darian Gordon.
Yes.
Not only making the tackle, saving a first down, and keeping the clock going and compelling them to use their final timeout.
Definitely in bounds. Good call by the official.
Absolutely. So now, if you go for it on 4th down, and they are going to go for it because Greasy comes back out.
Do you think they snap it out?
I do. I don't think Shanahan wants to try a 56-yard field goal here.
Look at this. They got him in the shotgun situation here. Are they?
Right.
Be interested.
So the game is on the line right here. 4th down and 1. Greasy needs the completion. He gets it, and inbounds though. It's Rod Smith. It's the same kind of play, but now Greasy can at least spike it to stop the clock. So they'll line up. They're at the 36-yard line. He spikes it. That stops it with 23 seconds. Now you're looking at a 53-yard field goal.
And let me tell you why Mike Shanahan is so impressed with Brian Greasy. In the face of a blitz, Brian Greasy delivers a strike. You can see when we get to the replay how many guys are coming.
2 plays in a row. Smith is right there on the chalk and can't get out. This time it's Richard Harvey who blitzed, and Gordon again with Smith. At the 35 without a timeout. Greasy going deep and incomplete. Rod Smith well covered. Darian Gordon with the coverage again.
Again, the Raiders are staying with their one-on-one coverage outside. They're trying to bring 5 guys. Now Brian Greasy's he has to work the sidelines, or he has to go for the end zone.
So it's 3rd down and 10 now at the 35-yard line.
And now when we practice, we always felt like it took 16 seconds for them to reset the ball.
Well, the middle of the field is very dangerous at this point.
Right.
In this circumstance on 3rd down. So Greasy's got to look outside. He's going to look deep. He's going to go for the end zone, and that's incomplete. Intended for Travis McGriff. So now they're going to send in Elam for a 53 or 54-yard attempt.
What I was going to tell you is that if he threw the ball inside on the field of play and they were unable to stop the clock, it takes 16 seconds for the officials to set the ball so you can go ahead and spike it.
Right.
So you know going into it, if you're going to snap the ball with 18 seconds, that there's no way that you're going to be able to get the ball off.
So a cold night, the new harder ball, and Elam to kick 53 yards to try to tie the game. Elam sends it skyward. The kick is good.
Oh, man. What a kick. And now we have flags on the play.
There is flags now. Did it come before the kick or after the kick? And it is a personal foul against Oakland. So the kick will be good.
And I wonder if number 54 Greg
Personal
Finger,
foul on the defensive team for leaping number 24.
number 24.
Penalty is declined. The field goal is good.
Charles Woodson faulting or attempting to use somebody's back to block it.
But he didn't now.
They didn't. Yeah,
No, he didn't.
I'm looking at it. It's irrelevant as it turns out because the kick was good. And how about Jason Elam? 53 yards under the most intense kind of pressure. And Elam bangs it through by a good 5 yards to tie the game at 21. Well, there are all kinds of ways to get to 21, but this is the weirdest.
one thing I don't understand is the call on Charles Woodson, the penalty here.
Yeah, they called him for leaping. Leaping should be if you're going to use somebody to catapult you. Then all he did was like a basketball player trying to block a shot. But it's irrelevant as it turns out. Apparently, one of the officials thought he must have used a teammate. Take a look. Woodson is 24.
Well, he's 24 right here on the left side of your screen. He's not allowed to run toward the line and leap. You have to leap in place, Al.
Right.
Look how high he gets. Al, that's like
Personal foul.
Al, that's like me today at the Denver Athletic Club taking Kenny Wolf, our producer, to the hole.
You have tape of it?
I do have tape. You know Kenny played at Harvard, right?
I'm aware of that.
With V. James Brown, by the way.
You can't run and leap is what it amounts to. You have to be stationary. The penalty means the kickoff comes from the 45-yard line now.
That's their third and final timeout.
And Oakland takes a timeout.
Well, Oakland wants to take a timeout right now because they look like they're confused. They don't know whether or not to have the hands team in there because the Broncos are showing an onside kick formation. And they want to take their big linemen off the field, and they want to put their wide receivers and defensive backs.
That's Frank Gans along the sideline.
And you can see the Raiders look a little confused right now, but take a look at, he takes 2 steps, and look how high Charles Woodson gets. I don't necessarily know that was a running leap, though.
Well, it's academic as it turns out. Elam's going to kick off here. The next critical decision in this game is going to be heads or tails. And that is fielded at the 24-yard line by Charles Mincy with 7 seconds still showing on the clock.
If they get that ball, that's not academic.
Right, but as it turned out, it was academic.
Right now it does, yes.
So Gannon comes in, probably for a kneel down. And then we'll have a coin flip. As I said, in the old days, before 2-point conversions, it was easy to get to 21. We got to 21 tonight by 7-0, 10-0, 12-0, 15-0, 15-7, 15-15, 18-18.
Only you can figure that out that quickly. Way to go, babe.
It's like getting to 21 by drawing 7 cards. Now that I know about. And that's the end of regulation.
Well, we knew it was going to be a game just because of talking to the players and to the coaches before the game, Al. You could sense that this was going to be an intense battle. You really could.
Raiders Broncos through the years, one of the best rivalries in the NFL. Going back to 1960 to the American Football League when the Raiders, Boomer, I don't know if you recall this, their original name, you know what they're going to call them? The Oakland Seniors.
Seniors.
Yes, sir. It lasted about
in the overtime National Football League, the first team that scores wins. Timing is the same as the fourth quarter. Each team gets 2 timeouts. Oakland, visiting team, who's going to call the coin? He's going to call heads.
All right, we got that right.
It's tails. Denver has won the toss. They would like to receive. Good luck, man.
So the Broncos, with Greasy at the helm, has led them to 2 field goal drives. Will get it first in overtime. Game time at 21. Houston to kick off for the Raiders, and it's Watson. Chris Watson, the rookie, from the 7-yard line. Breaks it out past the 30, and the Broncos will start from the 33-yard line with Brian Greasy.
Al, you can't appreciate how great a kick that was by Jason Elam. It's freezing cold. He's actually kicking it into a little bit of a breeze. And he's kicking a brand new ball right out of a box that's probably like a baseball hard football, you know?
And the game's on the line.
Well,
that's why Elam winds up in the Pro Bowl from time to time.
What a terrific kick.
At the 33-yard line, first down. McCaffrey in motion to the inside, to the ground with Gary. Olandis Gary tackled after a gain of 2 at the 35. Again, in overtime, you can play a maximum of 15 minutes. It ends with any score. Each team has 2 timeouts.
Again, to go back to the fourth down play by Brian Greasy in the face of a blitz, delivering a strike to Rod Smith for a first down. And you could just see this kid does so many of the little things that look good. And once his whole game comes around, Al, and he understands everything, I really think he'll be something. 2nd and 8, and that's Chamberlain, the intended receiver, and he was covered by Sam Sword. 3rd down and 8. Sword, the rookie out of Michigan, and a guy who knows Greasy very well because that's where Brian played. There's a whole bunch of guys out here from Michigan. Yeah, well, 6 Raiders are from Michigan, right. So Greasy must feel like he's in a scrimmage during the week. He's in the blue and yellow game or the blue and white game, the spring game, whatever it is. 3rd down. One of the guys he's facing in the secondary, of course, is Charles Woodson, the Heisman winner. 3rd down and 8. Going for McCaffrey, and McCaffrey didn't look around until the pass was on its downward arc, and he was covered by Woodson. So good coverage. You know, he could have fallen again, though, Al. He's already pulled that once before. And Charles Woodson has really done pretty well. If it were not for that one pass interference call. And the interesting thing about Charles Woodson is his talent is no interceptions this year. Right. 4th and 8. Tom Bruin to punt. Gordon's going to let it bounce. It bounces at the 25-yard line. Skipping sideways. The Broncos get every last inch out of it, and it is down at the 19-yard line. Well, they've had some success, the Raiders have, with little play-action passes thrown it to John Ritchie, the fullback. In the flats, I still like Ricky Dudley over the middle. You got to be able to give Rich Gannon a little bit of time. The last few times out, the Raider offensive line has had a few miscues. Again, you almost have to go back to what we said at the scene set. This is a very vital game for the Raiders in a conference where 5 teams are already 8-2. Only 6 go to the playoffs. They're trying to go 6-4. And in overtime, they begin from the 19-yard line, and they give the ball to Wheatley, and he is met by Coghill. The safety comes up for support, and all of the Broncos then push him back. The interesting thing about Coghill, Al, this is his first career NFL start, and he's starting in place of Eric Brown, who they just put on IR, who was their leading tackler. We'll be playing the rest of the way. One of those players that Mike Shanahan's going to get a good look at. 2nd down and 9 from the 20-yard line. Four-man rush. Gannon escapes. Gannon goes down at the 25-yard line. That was Neil Smith tackling him and also trying to cause a fumble. These 2 teams in their history, going back to 1960 in overtime, 7 times. It's the most overtime games in a team versus team situation. 7 times they've gone to overtime. Broncos won the first, and then the Raiders, LA and Oakland, both winning 5 in a row since overtime started in the regular season in 1974. 3rd down and 4. Gannon under pressure, hit from behind, loses the football to the 25-yard line. Denver has it. Trevor Price. The price was wrong for the Raiders. Take a look at this right here. Rich Gannon just holding on to the ball too long. You have to get rid of it.
Trevor Price having a Pro Bowl type of season.
There is Greg Robinson, the defensive coordinator. Look how psyched he is. This is a team that's 3-7.
Third turnover by the Raiders tonight. Broncos already well within Elam's range. Olandis Gary inside the 10, touchdown and a Denver victory. What a game.
Oh, Mike Shanahan makes a decision to go to Brian Greasy in the fourth quarter. Howard Griffith makes a great lead block to spring Olandis Gary. I think that the Oakland Raiders are stunned. When you get into a situation like that where the Raider defense knew that they had to make a play and they get so close to the line of scrimmage, the safeties have no chance to make a tackle. Look at this move on Mincy. Mincy overruns the play. Olandis Gary had a great game tonight. Finishes it off. The huge touchdown run. And if there's any solace in the fact that the Broncos have right now in their season is that they swept the Oakland Raiders and probably have knocked them out of the playoffs, Al.
Very likely, even though they could still run the table and wind up with a mark of 11-5. You'd have to win all 6. The division is tough. The conference is very tough. And Olandis Gary with a touchdown. Gary tonight winds up with 95 yards on 22 carries and put in the game winner there in OT. Bronx by 6. Back with a play of the game after this. In overtime, the Broncos win it by a score of 27-21. So guess what? The CNET, the CNET.com play at CNET. The Raiders wish they did. This was a CNET. Instead, this is the CNET.com play of the game. Gary for the touchdown after they had gotten the turnover. Trevor Price created this. 3 Oakland turnovers do them in. The Raiders get swept by the Broncos. Shanahan's won 9 of 10 from his former team. Let's go to Leslie Visser.
Al, it's quite an initiation to the Bronco-Raiders war. Olandis, tell us about the scoring play.
It was just outside zone play. We were just trying to get, just hold the ball and just run the clock until, we could try a field goal. But the line blocked well and my wide receivers blocked well, and I just took it in.
Is it something we all know about Terrell Davis? Is it something about you guys from Georgia?
Hopefully, we're just trying to keep plugging those running backs out of the University of Georgia, and we're just trying to do well in the National Football League.
You haven't been here that long, but you know that Mike Shanahan was fired by the Raiders 10 years ago. Was there a little extra meaning in this game?
Well, maybe for coach, but we in our position right now, we just got to go out and try to win every football game.
What does this do for your season?
Right now, that's just an extra win. We just got to try to just put a game plan together for our next opponents.
Well, you certainly made a memory tonight. Thanks a lot, Olandis. Back to you guys.
Oh, he sure did, Al.
What a game, huh?
What a game, and what a game he played.
Yep.
And really, when you think about it, both teams played hard, but
that was a beauty, though.
It really was. I'm just glad we finally got a good one.
Very compelling game. Denver wins it 27-21 in OT. We head west next week, San Francisco, where it will be the 49ers hosting the Green Bay Packers. Until then, Al Michaels for Boomer Esiason, Leslie Visser saying good night from Denver. ABC Sports Online at ESPN.com. And this has been a presentation of ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of